You're listening to Under Burgundy Skies. I'm JP Kallio, songwriter, storyteller, a man learning to live a slower, more honest life. Here we talk about creativity, growth, the hard lessons, the quiet moments, and what it really means to begin again. Thank you for being here. Let's dive in. Towers, the story behind the song. There are songs that come from memory, there are songs that come from emotion, and there are songs that come from imagination. Towers is one of those songs, not because it isn't real, but because it lives somewhere between reality and possibility, between what is and what could be. We live in a strange time. It feels like every day there's another headline that makes you stop and think, how much longer can this go on? Wars that don't end, empires flexing their muscles, governments making decisions that seem completely disconnected from everyday people. Cities feeling tighter, louder, angrier and more fragile. And close to home, places I know well, like Dublin, struggling with broken systems, failed policies, fear, division and people being pushed further and further to the edges. I don't say this to be dramatic, I say it because it feels present, like something we can all sense even if we don't talk about it out loud. The imagined world of Towers. Towers is not a song about how the world will end. It's a song about how the world might look after something has already ended. When I wrote it, I imagined cities I know, places I walked, lived in, loved, long after people have gone. Buildings still standing, infrastructure still there, but no one left to maintain it. Paint peeling, metal rusting. Nature slowly reclaiming what we thought we owned. Those towers in the song, they're real to me. They're inspired by the old chimney stacks in Dublin docks. Industrial monuments to the time when progress meant producing at any cost. And in the song, they're still there, but abandoned, silent, witnesses. Why the beginning of the song feels empty and on purpose. Musically, Towers is intentionally sparse. There's space, there's air, there's restraint, and that wasn't an accident. I wanted it to feel like walking through an empty place, where sound travels differently, where footsteps echo, where everything feels slightly slowed down. That emptiness isn't despair, it's absence, and absence makes you listen more closely. The heart of the song lives in the chorus, because while the verses observe what's been left behind, the chorus listens to something else entirely. Nature. In the song, nature doesn't shout, it doesn't demand, it whispers. But it keeps whispering, long after the noise of the civilization fades. That's where the hope is. Not in rebuilding the same system, not in replacing one tower with another, but in remembering something older than all of it. That living in balance, with land, with seasons, with each other, has always outlived greed. At its core, Towers ask a very simple question. What if we left? What if we stopped feeding a system that no longer serves us? What if we stepped away from endless growth, endless consumption, endless urgency? What if we choose enough? I don't ask that as a solution, and I don't ask it as a judgment. I ask it as an invitation to think, because I sometimes wonder, is that what I did when I left the city, when I moved to the countryside, when I chose slowness over scale? I don't have a definite answers, but I know this. The further I get from the noise, the clearer the signal becomes. Not escapism, a different kind of resistance. This isn't about running away. It's about refusing to accept that the current way of living is the only option. It's about asking whether participation is the same thing as complicity, and whether choosing a smaller, quieter life might actually be a form of resistance. Towers isn't a warning, and it isn't a manifesto. It's a thought experiment, a quiet one, a what if that lingers after the song ends. And maybe, just maybe, it's a reminder that when everything else collapses, nature remains. And so does the possibility to live differently. Thank you for listening. This was a story behind Towers. If the song resonates with you, or if it makes you question something about the world you live in, then it's already done its job. Be kind to yourselves and listen closely. Sometimes the most important voices don't shout.
As the story unfolds, we don't know what the future holds, but the nature's call, louder it grows. We don't know what the future holds, but the nature calls as the story unfolds. The call, watch the waves. Back down things and made our way. Far away from the big city lights. And we found a place where nature provides.